Artificial Intelligence Policies Association of Turkey. Welcome you all. We are here for an important gathering today regarding AI and transformation of the economy. And first of all, I would like to thank our Mr. Ambassador, His Excellency Egemen Bağış, for hosting us here today and inviting you to such an audience here. And then we will discuss two sessions today here. The first session will be focusing on the technical side of the AI and generative AI. And the second one, we will talk about the impact and the significance of AI in transforming the role on the economy. And we will talk about Czech AI strategy and the macroeconomic view of AI in general. And now I would like to invite our President, Mr. Zafer Küçükşaban, for his opening speech. Mr. Zafer, please, you have the floor.
Mr. Ambassador, ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome. First of all, we are very happy to be in Prague. Thank you so much, Mr. Ambassador, for hosting us, and thank you all for coming here today. I am going to talk about economic impacts of AI. The world is changing so rapidly. AI is transforming the world. So, are we ready for this transformation? I think we are not. But we must be ready before it is too late. Nowadays, it is hard to have a strong economy without AI. In Turkey, AI ecosystem is improving day by day. AI is indispensable for Turkey, Czech Republic, and all countries, because we know that, firstly, AI is never temporary technology. AI is a strategic necessity. Secondly, AI is going to affect all sectors: agriculture, foreign affairs, climate change, finance, and education. Thirdly, AI will make 85 million people unemployed. However, AI will also create 97 million new jobs. Lastly, AI will create $16 trillion for the economy by 2030. To sum up, the driving force of the economic development will be AI. Mr. Ambassador, ladies and gentlemen, we should not forget that in today's world, the stronger technological vision and know-how of a country, the louder it is voiced in the world. For this reason, all people must learn AI, all governments and businesses should invest in AI. Because AI is not the future, AI is today. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for your speech, Mr. President, Mr. Zafer. Now, we will invite our Ambassador, His Excellency Egemen Bağış, for his speech.
Ambassador, distinguished guests, dear President, Sharon. First of all, let me welcome all of you to the Turkish Embassy, to House of Turkey in Prague. This is probably the first time we are organizing an event of this sort based on artificial intelligence. Historically, intelligence would determine the future of nations, companies, societies. But nowadays, it's artificial intelligence that is going to be determining our future and the future of our next generations. The world is constantly changing, and we have to adapt to the change. I would like to share an anecdote with you. Many of you know, work very closely with our President of the Republic of Turkey, Mr. Erdogan. Once we were in a helicopter in the southeast of Turkey, where the level of education you would not expect to be very high, and we had a need to do an emergency landing. There was a technical issue with the helicopter, and we were told that we have to land. and then another helicopter would come and pick us up. So we landed in a village in southeast of Turkey. And probably it was the first time in history where a helicopter landed somewhere near that village. So all the children of the village came around looking at the big bird. And when the doors opened, it was someone that they all knew very well from their television sets. It was the then Prime Minister of the country getting out. So they all gathered, and he was very happy, and they wanted to have photos taken with him. After the session of photograph taking, he said, "Kids, give your names and addresses to my photographer, so he will print them, the photos, and send them to you, mail them to you." And one of the kids said, "He doesn't have to mail it, he can email it to us." I was shocked. And I said, "Do you use email in this village?" He said, "Yes, our teacher made sure we all have email." So that was the time it really dawned on me that things are changing and we have to adapt with this change. So artificial intelligence is not only a discipline for technical issues, but as Rafael also mentioned, it's going to shape the future of our economies. It's going to shape the future of our social peace, cohesion, coexistence. We were discussing with them, with the board of AI Association of Turkey yesterday when they came to visit me. Now, in terms of health, the data collected from different health issues in hospitals, and with the right processing using artificial intelligence, doctors can diagnose diseases much faster and save lives. Economically, we can make sure we have a lot more produce from agriculture using the data correctly. And we have to focus on how we can make artificial intelligence to the best of humankind. Therefore, Turkey has a national artificial intelligence strategy which was published for years 2021 to 2025, and we are trying with a new office established in the Presidential Office of Republic of Turkey, the Digital Transformation Office, to create value on global scale on an agile and sustainable artificial intelligence ecosystem. As you all know, we are very proud as a nation that we are the most eastern part of the West, and we are the most western part of the East. Istanbul, where I represented for many years, for almost a decade and a half in the Turkish parliament, is the most European city of Asia. At the same time, it's the most Asian city of Europe. So this gives us a very unique opportunity to be a bridge between supply and demand, among different civilizations. That's why we can serve as a peacemaker. We are the only country that can bring the Russian and the Ukrainian foreign ministers together and create a grain corridor. We are the only country that can bring energy sources that are to our south or to our north or to our east to the countries that need those energy resources to our west. Just like we serve as a bridge in many issues, in the digital age, Turkey is ready to serve as a bridge for artificial intelligence because our geography dictates that to us. So I'm glad that the Organization for Artificial Intelligence of Turkey chose Prague as one of the cities, capitals to organize this event, because this city is also very unique because it served as capital of the Roman Empire right before and right after Istanbul did. So there's a very unique relationship, historical relationship between the two cities as well. We're very happy that the Czech stakeholders, the Ministry of Industry, Czech businesses also showed interest. Last year we hosted a delegation from the digital office of our country. They came here, they had meetings here in Prague and also in Brno, and they established some contacts. But with this conference today, we're also going to be deepening the relationship in AI cooperation between Turkey and the Czech Republic. So I'm convinced that the talks, the discussions today are going to be very fruitful for all sides. Once again, I thank you all for joining us, and I am looking forward to learning a lot more today than I know about artificial intelligence. Once again, thank you for coming and thank you for joining.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for this insightful speech and the speech that touches upon the possible opportunities regarding Turkey and Czechia with the help of your and guidance of IPA. Fellow guests, let me introduce our first panel and the panelists. Should I invite our Secretary General, Mr. İrem Sezer, to the floor, please? Our moderator will be today, Mr. İrem Sezer, and the name of the session is Neuromorphic Systems of AI. And now our speakers, Vice President of IFA, Dr. Umut Demirezak, please. And our Associate Professor, Board Member of IFA, Şebnem Özdemir. She was our Vice President before I was about to say. And from Mama AI, what was his name? Do you have please? Yeah, Mr. Yakup, please. Mr. Zak, you have the floor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Gökhan. Hello everyone. I want to thank you everyone for joining us today. Also, thank you very much to Embassy for hosting us. And also, I have a special thank you to the members and for organizing this event at this property. Thank you so much. Actually, this is İrem Sezer. I forgot to introduce myself. This is İrem Sezer. I'm a Secretary General at Artificial Intelligence Policies Association, and also I'm working as a data scientist at UN, United Nations Refugee Agency. It's honest to start up with the first panel, which is subjected Next Generation AI and Neuromorphic Systems. Today, we have distinguished group of guests. Each will bring a unique perspective with diverse backgrounds. Actually, I'm looking forward to deep dive into AI environment, but first of all, I want to introduce our valuable speakers and to you. I will start with Dr. Umut Demirezak. He's the Vice President of IPA, Artificial Intelligence Policies Association, also, and he's the Artificial Intelligence Manager at Udemy. Our second guest is Şebnem Özdemir, Associate Professor Dr. Şebnem Özdemir. She's a board member of Artificial Intelligence Policies Association. Also, she's the head of Data Science Department at İstinye University. Our last guest is Yakup Dinhard. Is it? Am I
Yes,
right?
yes.
And Yakup? Or?
Yes.
Okay, Yakup Dinhard. And then he's also Vice President of Customer Success at Mama AI. I will actually ask my first question to the Umut Demirezak. And actually, as I know, there is a term called neuromorphic computing. And neuromorphic computing has become quite popular in these days and then nowadays. Is this term an emerged new or an already exists? And what's the reason of this popularity? And also this generative AI truly the feature of AI. And can you explain this question? I guess you have a presentation, isn't it?
Because I know your question before, I prepared a presentation first. And I just want to bring it on. Before I start, I just want to inform you, it will be highly technical, but I think it's a very good presentation. As a artificial intelligence enthusiasts, we are generally working on modeling and modeling and human brain by using its cells, brain cells, which is called neurons. By connecting neurons each other, transforming some electrical power from one to other, we are modeling its inner dynamics, inner workings, and apply this analogy to several problems in the artificial intelligence domain, or by using several different kind of algorithms to work on solve important problems to us, which will produce value. For example, it can be, as Mr. Ambassador said, an health application, diagnose a brain tumor or cancer cell, or predicting an energy demand before we know the future energy demand. And also we can collect lots of data to build autonomous systems, driverless cars. Everything can be possible in these days, but everything just depends on this kind of analogy. We are modeling brain dynamics, brain-related workings to our problems, to solve our problems. The most important issue in that, generally, we have physics laws. Physics laws, F equals M product A. We know everything can be modeled as a mathematical equations, differential equations, partial differential equations. But when you use the artificial intelligence domain, generally you don't have any mathematical relationship with the what you want to predict. So this time we are gathering some data, build some different kind of mathematical model which consists of several kind of neurons and connecting very different kind of analogical presentation. Then we train the model and we ask questions. If you train model very limited small data sets, generally you will get any results just belong to that data set. It does not have any generalization power. When you build some models, several kind of data sets, or even also that model cannot learn and generalize the information and get enough power, get enough success to predict other the data sets inside. So I think it's enough for just one slide. So let me show you some kind of dynamics. Generally, we are mathematically modeling a brain cell, a neuron. In global point of view, we generally use an Wx plus B, weight matrix and bias terms. It's just a very, very easy type of modeling. And but in our brain, all neurons cannot work a continuous DC signals, cannot transmit DC signals from one neuron to other neuron. It makes us really power efficient and speed way, and it can easily adapt, which is called neuroplasticity. Adapt the resulting power, resulting situation, prediction model easily. So our brains use some spiking kind of modeling, but generally neuromorphic technology is directly mimics this kind of analogy. So it provides much more efficiency, much more effectiveness for us. Because of neuromorphic technologies recent development, we have very good opportunities to build very good model, and very edge-related, edge deployment models. If you are AI developer, when you develop your model, test your model, and also deploy your model, generally you will face computation power-related issues. It needs GPU-related technologies, computational technologies, and it consumes lots of energy, and when you want to develop another kind of model or you update your model, you have to redeploy it, and you have to train your model from scratch. Every day, you have a big danger to data set shift or concept shift kind of problems, and your model must be dynamic. When the time has come, you have to retrain your model and apply some kind of regularization or this kind of improvements and redeploy. This is very time consuming thing. But using this kind of neuromorphic technology, we are changing the underlying technologies of AI. By using this kind of neuromorphic technology, we use spikes, and we don't use CPU-related, von Neumann-related architectures anymore. And we are modeling brain cells just using different kind of circuit theory-related elements. For example, I am building a neuron model by using capacitors, inductors, resistors, thermistors. This kind of small circuit elements can be tied together in the circuit level. Then you can provide this hardware-related neuron model and generate new kind of information, new kind of learning, and mimic the human brain neuroplasticity. So this kind of approach also provides you consume much less power. For example, we use GPUs, NVIDIA, AMD, this kind of technology generally consumes 200 watts in a small computer. But this kind of neuromorphic technology, you are using just nanowatt or microwatt level power. So you can easily put your products. You can easily, very space limited, and even small, tiny part of area can consist of nearly billions of neurons because of the neuromorphic circuitry computation. So, because of the time limitation, I just give the idea with this. This is a general model, but we are using this kind of formulas, as I said, capacitors, inductors, or elements, and different kind of neural models. We have the neuromorphic computing. This is very important kind of technology in here. Because of the time limitations, I just want to give some information and show some demonstrations for what can we build this kind of technology. Neurons in this era, this technology just communicates each other by using spiking kind of representation of the information. For example, the number 3 or the image can be converted in limited type of or definite type of spike trains and feed this information to the neural network, then get some output as a spikes. If the spike continues to improve the communication of between several neurons, it is going to rise the connection level, rise the plasticity. Then it learns something. So this kind of technology is directly used this related training issues. The most important downside of this technology is we are not providing much accuracy as the current deep learning models. For example, for a model can provide the classical or neuron-based model can provide 99% accuracy. We can provide 98% accuracy because of the quantization on architecture change, but it provides much more learning. Even one, I will show you a small demonstration, even one type of, one piece of information, you can improve your model from 0 to 99% accuracy, and also use very low power. For example, this technology is also off the shelf. You can buy easily. I will show you several chips: Intel, Lohili, Akida. These are very unique and effective things to build. 1 million times lower energy and 10,000 faster. This is comparing into i7, Intel i7 all new architecture. It is also using in the autonomous cars. Here, for example, Vision EQXX part of the cars are directly using this chip to follow the driver's issues and also communicate with you, voice over, voice translation or driver detection, driver fatigue detection, this kind of problems. It is already using this car, Mercedes type of cars. And even today, for the generative AI part, this is very important. We know, everybody know in here, I think GPT, OpenAI GPT, neuromorphic devices, neuromorphic theory has already adapted for GPT. If you use GPT, you have to give some money to OpenAI, get good fail level of service, or sometimes good level of service. You get lots of energy, you get lots of money, and build some product very short time, very easily. By using this technology, which is called spiking transformer networks, these papers are directly related to GPT-based modeling for with AI-based neuromorphic devices. These are also very important. I just want to show a small demonstration to you. This is built with the Akida neuromorphic devices. As I said before, when you build up a model by using a classification approach, you just want to gather some data, build the data set, train, test, validation, train the data with the data set, and model is going to learn it. But for the neuromorphic devices, I am just using one kind of little statue of animals: tiger, elephant, deer. I'm just taking pictures for it. This is a small tiny panda, and also a police car. Here comes its effectiveness here. I'm using just one picture of anything, and also from one source. It can be statue, this can be picture, but when you use some kind of source, for example, by using a statue, and when you use another kind of picture, comes from newspapers, television, you have to build and add some kind of data augmentation and build your model from scratch. But also you have to model the different angles of the data, but just using one picture, it uses neuromorphic technology and brain cells models. It learns all classes, just one picture. When you want to adapt it, or you don't get good amount of accuracy from the other sides, other perspective, other angles, just adding another picture directly improves your accuracy. This is one of the important thing. I just trained just using a little statue. I'm asking different kind of elephants, Indian elephants, Turkish elephants, or whatever, but it directly recognizes this is also another kind of tiger. I just give one tiger statue picture. Now it can learn because it uses human inspired neural model, and even it can be doing in inference state, no longer training. You can build, just add some important, just a representative picture or representative data to improve its effectiveness, improve its accuracy from 50% to 100%. And you don't have to use different kind of data augmentation strategies, retrain it from scratch. This is very easy to implement and directly related to human brain cells modeling in today. So it provides, as a result, it provides a very good amount of training data to training the time efficiency, computation power, no longer retraining requirements, easy to do deployment, and very space saving, very small amount of space you can consume. You can put everywhere, just directly related to electrical connections. So the neuromorphic is an answer of your for your question. Generative AI and next generation artificial intelligence systems in the near future will be directly related to neuromorphic technology with a new as a result of innovation. Thank you.
I think we learned a lot of things, basic things about neuromorphic systems, and then thank you so much for enlightening explanation. Dear Dr. Mutdemirezan. And then actually, before reaching this level in neuromorphic systems and neuromorphic computing, we went and through many stages, and then we heard a lot of terms like AI and OpenAI and ChatGPT and generative AI. And then I have a lot of questions about generative AI and AI to the Şebnem Özdemir for better understanding. So actually, I have a lot of and bunch of questions. I will ask these advanced, and then we request a conversation from you and for actually including these question answer. So first of all, I'm going to ask what's the difference between generative AI and AI? My second question is about, and actually as I know lately, and OpenAI launched a new GPT models called GPT-4 Turbo. And then I want to learn what's the difference between GPT-4 and GPT-4 Turbo. And then what abilities change and coming actually these days, and what abilities change and coming and so far between GPT models. And also what's the, and I have two more questions, and what's generative AI and what is autogen? And can you explain in these questions? Thank you.
I thank you. I hope my presentation will explain and answer all the questions that you have. And I would like to thank you too for your contribution, and also thank you to the ambassador for inviting us. In order to build such concept into the topic that Umut Demirezan Hoca will told you, we need to understand the philosophy of AI firstly. Even you know the AI, the concept of AI comes from the 1956, but it's too old. You can find the concept of AI in the fairy tales. For example, in the Snow White story. In the story, the fairy tales, evil queen call a mirror, mirror, mirror, who is the fairest of them all? It's an aesthetic artificial intelligence application hidden in the mirror, because it detects the facial attributes, the fair, the skin, and the skin concept. It gives it probably give a score, a point, I don't know, maybe 90 to the evil queen, but when it detects the Snow White's face, white as white snow, it gives highest score when you compare the evil queen. So we exactly use the aesthetic application, this idea. So let's try to understand what's happening in the AI world. I think the most fascinating example comes from the 13th century. Ingenious machine by the Jazari, it drew a serving robot by using the power of animal and the water at that time. And also, you know, a famous story of Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein, it also described the AI for us. Using the power of electricity for building a new kind, not similar to human, but mimicking the human. And also we can discuss that a scan from theater, apart from the theater in 1920s, Rossum's universal robots. It also described a kind of robot serving the factories instead of human. Now we discussed those ideas within 2 years after the pandemic and during the pandemic. If you check the timeline of the artificial intelligence, yes, we should focus in two important times. In 1956, we discussed the artificial intelligence idea, it defines really, and also in 1965, the first data centers was built in the United States. It started to collect the data. We have too little time in AI. People lost their beliefs to AI because of the data problem, because of the core philosophy question. What machine can learn? How machine learn from something? We doesn't know. In that time, they use neurons, the human behaviors, but they doesn't have, it can learn from the data. Of course, the change, the definition of the perception is changed when you think about the topic of AI. In 1956, it was the engineering something. AI is a cool to engineering something. Right now, with the greatest person, Andrew Benji called, it is the electricity of the mankind. Some often change the definition. They said it's the new kind of nuclear power right now. So we have ChatGPT. Many sort of resources share an idea. It can destroy the mankind's creativity, and other sources support we will have a new kind of level of creativity and innovation. So we are in the middle of something that we will destroy the mankind, or we rebuild it. In this time, except the ChatGPT, we have artificial narrow intelligence. If we have data, we can create many things. The autonomous cars, a doctor mimicking machines, any kind of thing. But if we don't have the data, we can't create the artificial intelligence. The Stanford University approach tells us, don't put the AI into the core, put the problem into the core. Think about, try to specify the problem firstly. If you specify the problem, then please try to detect the variables. How can you solve the problem with those bunch of variables? After the variable, ask yourself, do you have an experts in your team to analyze those variables? Because every area needs different expertise. If you're working with the financial data, you need a different approach. Then the other step is, yes, you have the expert, or you have time to get some expertise on it. Do you have the data? If your answer is yes, right now we can discuss the AI. But as a developer, we don't want to stuck in the artificial narrow intelligence. Our dream is about developing artificial general intelligence. And ChatGPT, we can call it as a generative AI, is a baby step for creating artificial general intelligence. 2 nights before, a new article published that we are so close to creating artificial general intelligence. It's a kind of human level intelligence. So we don't need any more such data. We don't need to stuck in data collecting process anymore. And I would like to show some concepts. It is the first tool that we use to understand the mankind, companies, and the society. After a short while, we have artificial intelligence, but when we put the artificial intelligence into winter, a new kind of concept was born called data mining, because we collecting data from 1965 that I told you. And also in that year, we have also machine learning concept, but we need computer power. If we don't have the computer power, in a small case, in a small data set, it takes 9 hours to detect something. So in order to create such machine learning, we can't give up on thinking the software and the hardware part. And Data science was born, I think, after 2009, but yeah, as an idea. Right now, we need to clarify our data set. We can't use the data as we collect it. We firstly analyze, we should remove some noises on the data set. And after 2010, we have a new concept called deep learning, which is Umut Demirözen Hoca also told us some concepts about it. And if you are talking about AI, we are not talking about just the robots, we are talking about many concepts as well. What is the differences between artificial narrow intelligence and the artificial general intelligence? It gives a hope to mimicking and surpassing the mankind. And generative AI is the steps for passing through the artificial general intelligence. Right now we have a new topic called autogen. Autogenerative is creating a team from generative AIs. You should use three generative AI at the same time for a test. Let's say we want to develop a new kind of programming languages. Tell the first generative AI, think about the philosophy, learn from the other programming languages, and tell the second one, deduct the first one, to create an easy to use programming language. Tell the third one, please plan a marketing strategy for announcing such new kind of programming languages. In such team, human become the controlling part, or human become the presidency part. And also we have generative AI for the paradox. Do we really understanding the new technology, and the AI really understand when we are typing it? This is a new kind of question. And also we have many different social engineering attacks. 3 days ago, an important security committee was gathered in the United States. They shared an idea. I think the attenders comes from the MI5 and CIA, yes. The new era will be the rise of AI threatened together. We will see many synthetic attacks and also synthetic data sets comes from used for the social engineering attack. We have to find a way to connect, to get in touch, to communicate the machines. The chain of thought is a new way, not writing and primitive prompt anymore. We need to create a chain of thought to get whatever we need. And also the emotional prompt is the better way. So don't ask directly at some emotional sausage inside of your question. And the Opera perspective comes from the first 4 days ago from the Google DeepMind. You can use generative AI as an optimizer for analyzing the optimization process. And the article that I told you before, the beginning of my speech, a benchmark for general AI assistant is a big fruit. We are so close to creating generative AI. Right now we are trying to solve the philosophy of learning part. And this is the pictures comes from a baby's eyes, but not a human baby, it's a machine baby. It created as a fetus 8 months, then the developer waits, it's born, right now it's 12 months, a baby, a machine baby, because we are trying to understand from the first step to the last step, how human develop a perspective to an object, to a human. And also this is another research from the Prag and the other developers. 25 people remodeled in a simulative world. So every time a human just curious about the selection that he or she did not do before, if the machine twin does the same selection, what happens in its artificial life. And also 1 month ago, another thing just tried, they used some dilemmas, social dilemmas, business dilemmas. Over the 400 people just attend the social experience and ask the ChatGPT and the human also for the answer such social dilemmas. Half of people preferred the ChatGPT's answer, much more trustable, much more emotional when they compare the human part. So we are in the new era. Skills are changing rapidly. And this is also Sukiyaki robot. We can control the tools by using brain signals. Of course, something has changed, not only the social world, but also the developing world. You don't need to learn programming languages to create some web pages, some tools on the web. You can just draw, just put the buttons on the screen, then you put your draft to the generative AI. It will directly produce your code. So UX UI part also changing right now. We are looking for creative people, not the coders. Coders are right now detectors, detecting for the problems in the system. And also we have a chance to generate immediately. You can use any kind of, because of time limitation, I would like to just only show one thing. When we have the first smartphone, we thought that this is the revolution, but revolution comes after. We have many applications. We have app markets right now. This is the Wikipedia. We have many generative AIs inside. You can use many things at the same time. They develop many intelligent agents for different tasks. This is the time that we should work with at least one machine. Humans becomes the leader, but the machines are the robots in the 90s, the idea of the 90s plan. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, dear Senator Demir, for this informative explanation. I think the example that you gave, it's really good for better understanding about AI and generative AI and Autogen. And then I will move on with dear Jakub, Mr. Jakub. And actually, I want to mention about some LLM models. And I think it's the key points of generative AI. As I know, some LLM models is using for generative AI companies and generative AI products. And they are company using these models for leveraging their customer experiences. I have a couple of questions for you. Firstly, I want to ask how LLM compared to the human brain. And also LLM, and as we know, LLM process like unstructured text, but can they work with structural data and such as table and databases? Can the LLMs run locally, or can they be only served on the large clouds like in software as a services? And it is my last question. How serious is the hallucination effect of LLMs for real world application? And can you answer and can you do some? I think you have also like presentation. And thank you for your answer in advance. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the questions. I will try to answer them, although my specialty is not technical. I'm more of a business person. Before I start with the presentation and trying to answer the questions, let me share a short story with you that demonstrates how much the world has changed and which is fascinating for me. Imagine that about an hour and a half before this event started, I didn't even know that I'm going to be presenting here today. My colleague Jan, who was supposed to be here, he fell sick, so he called me. I was just walking my son to the kindergarten, having completely different plans. Suddenly he called me and asked me if I could step in on this important event and have the presentation and join you here. I said, sure, I will help you, but I really don't know anything about it. So he shared with me the presentation, and by the way, this is a way to apologize for my casual attire because I really didn't plan to go here in the morning. So he shared a presentation with me, his presentation, which I didn't see before. I looked at it and I said, okay, so maybe the easiest way would be that Jan will present it himself. And using the AI within a few minutes, I've created from the presentation, I've created a video with an audio commentary, and I will just play it for you. So my job is really simple.
Represents an international team with 25 years of experience working in AI. Most of the team worked for a long time for IBM Research and IBM Watson. Mama AI Focus is practical AI. The team comprises of AI scientists, consultants, and cloud engineering experts in...
So, this is just a small joke, so... just to demonstrate how easy it is to create a presentation in this environment. Actually, I think the tools are already here, and I think within a few months, maybe even today, I was just too distracted, too lazy to do it. I wouldn't even need the presentation from Jan. I would just ask the ChatGPT or any other AI model, okay, so here are the thoughts that I have, or maybe the answers to the questions that I will be asked. Create a presentation for me. Already today, it's possible. The only problem probably would be the graphics. I would have to ask Midjourney or DALL-E to generate something for me. I'm pretty sure in a very near future it will be included in the tool as well, so I will just give it some general ideas that I would like to express in the presentation, and I will receive the presentation already ready for me. This is not the case today, so I will be using Jan's presentation to tell you something about our company and tell you something about the technologies, and hopefully answering the questions that were asked. So please bear with me as I'm not very. It's not my presentation. So to start very briefly to understand who is Mama AI. Mama AI is a company that was originally a research and development team of IBM working on speech technologies for over 20 years in the past. In 2021, we have decided to form a new company that we founded, which is called Mama AI, and the whole team of 25 people moved from IBM to Mama AI and started working on the technologies and tools that we have been working on in the past. For example, the things that our team did was the Watson Assistant, Watson speech to text and text to speech. I'm sure you are all aware, maybe not, about what Watson Assistant and Watson 2 is. Watson Assistant was, I think, the first machine to win the Jeopardy contest in 2006, I believe. So that was my colleagues doing. Since 2021, we have grown from 25 to 70 people, and we're working on the speech technologies and on AI in general, on different applications. Just to get an idea of what the applications are, it's really broad. We have communication AI, which is really focusing on speech technologies and voices. We have artificial voices that are being used by radios for virtual DJs. Some of the Czech radios are using our voices in their broadcasting. Television broadcasters are using our voices for dubbing different movies and series and so on. We have also voice technologies for call centers. So we have virtual call centers that can process incoming calls or make outgoing calls. I was telling somebody one of the interesting cases that we did recently with one of the governmental institution, which is a pilot where our artificial voice called Tomáš is calling elderly people and reminding them to take their pills that they are supposed to take every day, and asking them how they are feeling, if they are feeling okay, or if they have any pain or any health problems, and so on. And we are testing this, and it's calling them every day, and it's surprising to hear the answers because we are recording all the answers and all the interaction. And it's fantastic how quickly these people fall in love, and they create an emotional bond with the machine. I remember one old lady who was really happy, and at the end of the call she said, "Oh, dear Thomas, I'm really looking forward to hear from you again. So call me tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it." So it's really fantastic. Not only the speech, the text-to-speech and speech-to-text, these are the technologies in the communication AI, but we are also, and this is partly answering the question that was said here, it can be used to understand text and use it in a search. This is our part where we call it a search AI. Where one of our tools is something called semantic search, compared to traditional full text search. When you ask a question to, like, let's say Google or some other search engine, it will try to find the similar words that you have put into your question or your query, and find the similar words in the documents that it's searching through, based on the idea that if there are similar words, it means it's a similar topic. The semantic search is working in a slightly different way. It really tries to understand the topic of your question, what are you asking about, and then looking for similar topics in the document. So the results are usually more relevant than the full text search. We have, by the way, the interesting part of this is that since we are not searching on the words itself, but we are searching on some mathematical representation of the words or of the topic, and these topics, these meanings of the words, is pretty similar in all the languages or many of the languages. The search is language independent, so this is quite interesting for large corporations using multilingual document base and so on, because you can ask in one language, search in different languages, and get the relevant results still. So this is how we can use it in the area of documents. We have used this idea or this concept of searching for similarities, similar meanings, not only in words but in the area of drug discovery. There is a huge database of different molecules that the researchers are using to discover new drugs. In the past, it worked like that the researcher would think about some kind of formula of a new molecule. He would have to ask somebody to synthesize the molecule for him, which took weeks or months to synthesize. Then analyze the molecule and find out that it's toxic, so it cannot be used for a new drug. So we would have to go back and find a new formula and try it again. We have used AI and the similarity search to look through the database of the existing molecules, find similar molecules to the formula that the researchers entered, and based on that, derive the expected attributes of the new molecule that doesn't even exist, but to let's say to derive what the molecule would probably be like. Is it going to be toxic or not? And this is within a few seconds. So within a few seconds, the researcher would know, okay, so this formula wouldn't work because it would be toxic, nobody can use it. So I will try a new formula. And this way, from months of research, it's reduced to seconds or minutes of research. So this is, and the technology behind it is pretty much the same. Not searching words, but searching molecules. So this is another application we use in search. For example, the speech technologies and what we have can be used in other interesting areas like learning and personalized outputs. We have been working with Czech Army on an interesting project because when the Czech Army was helping Ukrainian Army sending pontoons, these flowing bridges, to help them, but it's not easy to assemble this bridge, and there is a instruction manual how to do it, but the Czech Army, they didn't have it in Ukrainian. It would take them quite a long time to get it translated. Okay, that's not so far, not so long, but then get somebody who speaks Ukrainian who can do some commentary on the video. Using our technology, it took them a day. Basically. So they were really happy because very fast they could give instruction manuals in a different language without getting any special speaker and just create it. And if there were some questions, okay, this is not clear from the Ukrainian side, they would just within a few hours they can create a new version of the manual and send it to Ukraine without any problem. So these are the tools that we are using. We're also looking at the virtual reality and metaverse applications. We have some training applications for production companies, manufacturing companies, where in virtual environments their employees can learn how to operate machinery and so on in a safe environment. And the AI is helping them on the context of what they are doing. Helping them how to move forward, what's the next step, how to get from here to there, and so on. I will probably skip the rest because I could be talking about this for a very long time. What I didn't really mention in the search AI, and this answer to one of the questions is, yes, we already have a tool for working for the LLM and the GPT to work with structured data, not only documents like PDFs or Word documents, but really structured data. There is a very nice case, but I don't probably have the video here. Our guys, they took data from Titanic about the passenger list of Titanic. There is a name, the age of the person, the gender of the person, the traveling class, and whether he survived or not the accident. And we just give this simple table to an agent based on a length chain technology, which is really interesting, and told him, okay, so here's the data you have. The type of data that is in each column is quite clear, and now we can ask him questions. So we can ask him a question like, okay, so tell me, what's the person? Who's the oldest person on the ship? And the interesting part about this length chain technology and the agent is that compared to the AI models, which from the let's say user perspective, they are a black box. You put something in, something happens. Nobody knows what actually, and then some result goes out, and you have no way to verify if it makes sense. Sometimes you do if you know the answer. If you don't, then you have to trust it. In the length chain technology and in the system that we have, which is very nice, you can see the plan that the AI has created, how it's going to answer the question. So you can see, okay, so I will have to ask for this, make a query to this database, to this data. I will ask for this, then I will make a calculation, I will compare the ages, and then I will give an answer. So you can even see how it's thinking and you can verify whether they're thinking correctly or not. It's not only simple questions, we can really ask it more complicated questions like, okay, so give me the percentages or probabilities of survival by the traveling classes, and it will give you some numbers, like I think for the third class it was 20%, 40% for the second, and 60 or 80% for the first one. And then you can ask it, okay, so give me some probable reasons why is it like this, and it will give you an answer. From my perspective, when I first saw it, the guys showed me, I said, wow, this is really big stuff, because imagining top managers in big companies not needing to be looking through heaps of data and having assistants or specialists looking and making reports for them. You just ask the machine, and it will give you an answer with everything you need. So yes, it is possible to work with structured data, and there are already tools that can do it. Basically, it was already mentioned here by the preceding speakers. Really, what we are seeing now is a Industry 5.0. It's a new industrial revolution. The first one, which brought us the machinery itself and some steam or water power, up to the last Industry 4.0, which gave us plenty of robotics and automation on the production plant, on the production floor. The Industry 5.0 is really about getting the people, the human cyber-physical system together. So the people are really using their very natural ways of interacting with the systems, and they are getting way more concise and natural response. So it's getting easier and easier to work with these complex systems that we have created in the past. As you can see, when asking the companies how they are using the generative AI, it's really it's interesting that it's the customer experience and retention is the most important part. The cost saving, the cost optimization, and business continuity are really on the back seat here. So understandingly, this is really about maintaining the business, growing our business, and this is where these AI systems can help us quite a lot. The AI is something very similar to what IT was 35 years ago, when now these things are let's say very common knowledge and very well known, like CPU, memory, disk, network, hardware, software, bugs, and the similar concepts that are appearing in the AI that we need to talk about is really the data, the model, machine learning and deep learning, model parameters and hyperparameters, the training, testing and deployment of these models. On the software, it's a bias, the error rate, and the typical issues that we are facing is overtraining and the hallucination. It can be, sometimes it's really funny, the hallucination. We have created a project together with the Czech Army for automatic virtual recruiter. You can check it out on Czech internet. The address is doarmady.cz, which means into the army.cz. And there is a virtual recruiter called Adela. You can talk to her, you can write to her, and she will respond. The goal is that she can answer most of the questions regarding the army based on the information that is on the website of Czech Army, plus some more documents. And also there's a database of open position within the Czech army, and you can ask, okay, so I have 10 years experience in IT, is there any place for me? And she will look for through the open positions and will tell you, okay, so in your city there are 2 open positions that you can apply for, and so on. It was really funny because when we put this into the public, many people tried to break her. we were quite expecting this, so we were testing very heavily, but we were not ready for everything. So it was really funny. Some of the questions that the people were asking. There is a famous Czech fairy tale or a movie story where with the devils in hell, that they have their own hierarchy. There is a horse and a wolf, like a rank, like a colonel or a soldier, and so on. So people were asking, okay, so can I become the rank of a horse in Czech army? And Adela was trying to answer, so she said, yes, you can become a horse in the army. So there was a lot of people, making fun of it. And one of my favorite question and answer was that somebody asked Adela, who are the people in the Czech army that are getting most money and doing nothing? And Adela answered, well, to become a general, you have to wait a little. So there was quite an interesting lesson for us where we learned that we really have to try to limit the free space that we give to the AI and really make it focus and rein it in the right direction, and kind of any let's say deviations from the main purpose of why the chatbot is there. So right now, if you ask these crazy questions, it's very likely to respond like, okay, I can't tell you this, but I can tell you something that is more relevant to the army. So this was a lesson that we have learned with Adela, that people are really trying to break it and take it somewhere where it's not supposed to be. Interesting thing about the AI is that really where it can really help the most are the 2 let's say opposite parts of the spectrum. On one side is the most routine work where the least, let's say, expertise is needed. Boring jobs like hazardous work, tedious, stressful, going through documents that are that just need to be read and somehow summarized and so on. So there are these simple tasks, and on the other hand, it's that it can really enhance and deepen the current expert practice and having the superhuman qualities, because it really the GPT has all the knowledge of the world now in a sense being fed into it. So it can really answer something fantastic. It can call 1,000 people at once and ask them anything or tell them anything, and we are using these tools quite a lot. There are many places or areas where AI is applicable, but it's on a different pace, different speed of adoption in each of these places. Marketing is one obvious one, but we have found a really interesting cases for HR and other let's say less obvious like manufacturing or IT. It's really interesting, and we are finding new cases every day. Every new customer that comes to us is coming with an idea how the AI and generative AI can be used in their environment to help them to improve their business, get more customers, retain the customers that they have, or optimize some cost. The question about the LLMs, it was already mentioned here, just to understand that the networks are really growing, but still roughly the current GPT versions are somewhere around units of trillions of cells in the neural network, compared to current human brain, which is like 100 to 500, something like this, trillions of synapses. So there is still quite a difference, but the trend is obvious, and it will grow really fast. So we will get there very soon. The change in the interaction with the ITs that we are facing, and we already see it, is really from the past, where one would be looking at a screen and filling out some fields and pushing some buttons, which meant that there would have to be some IT specialists to help preparing the data and preparing the interfaces, helping some subject matter expert will be helping with the processes and the additional, let's say, interpretation of the data or of the answers. The new paradigm is really about the cognitive interfaces, where all these are replaced by the AI, which can and has the knowledge of the IT experts, so it can create and develop these IT systems, as well with the subject matter expertise as well. Yes. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
Summarize the presentation, please.
I'll switch to. There's already an attempt to somehow control the use of the AI. Well, basically, what we are trying to say, and we already know, and we have discussed, is that this is creating a real huge disruption, and there are many aspects and many ways how to look at it, not only from a technical point of view, but also from the process view and the sociological view. So I will stop here. Thank you for your attention. Should you have any more questions to me, feel free to approach me.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And if you have any question, please feel free to ask, and don't hesitate if you have, and you can ask.
Any question? Thank you for this insightful, gone deep down, and brain burning for some presentations. Dear guest, Mr. Ambassador, please have a short break for 5 to 10 minutes at the longest. Please stay close. We will move forward very quickly to the second session, okay?
Hey,